Hi all, and welcome to this track, Digital Productivity for Business Leaders. My name is Richard Widerstall, and I'm the Chief Information Officer at Adaptio Group. In this session, I would like to present you a concept where we have merged integration disciplines with data platforms and BI to drive efficiency and control in our organization. But before we jump into the topic, I would like to introduce myself and Adaptio as a company, as I'm sure many of you are not aware of what we do. So Adaptio is the leading modular space provider in Northern Europe. We rent out temporary modular buildings to daycares, which you can see also here in the picture, to schools, offices, worker accommodations, and many more applications where temporary space is needed. So what we do? A typical use case is a school that needs extra space, for instance, during a renovation period. We can then plan, customize, and deliver a full school building based on our modular systems within weeks. And once the main school is completed and there's no longer a need, we simply disassemble our modules and bring them back for refurbishment and reuse for our next customer. So, today we are about 600 employees spanning over Nordics, Baltics, Germany, and Benelux, with a total modular space of 1.5 million square meters. That is about 60,000 modules that we have in our fleet. Now, we are classified as working within social infrastructure, and while that is true, I think it's easier to describe us as a construction and real estate company in one. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So, how are we working, and what is Space as a Service? From sales, we start planning together with the customer to understand the specific needs and design an optimal solution together. We can add services and features to meet a variety of different needs that a public sector or private customer might have. And once the planning is ready, we deliver our modules on trucks to the sites, where we lift them on place with cranes, piece them together, install water, plumbing, and electricity. And this forms a complete building meeting all permanent building requirements. We then rent out and maintain our customers' buildings until the customer's needs are completed. We will then disassemble the sites and transport it back to us, where we refurbish our modules and rent out to the next customer, always with a high quality in mind. So with this circular business model, we want to be a contributor to a sustainable society today and in the future, where we can scale up and down after needs, which becomes cost efficient, flexible, and sustainable for our societies. So given this a bit of a context from a history point of view, Adaptio has its roots back in the 1980s when Malmö's Instant Office was founded. From 1995 up until 2019, we were part of Cramo Group. Cramo rents out equipment rental for construction purposes, and a strategic decision was made to make Adaptio a standalone company. So in 2019, we demerged from Cramo Group and became a listed company on the Stockholm Stock Exchange. And throughout our company history, growth has been a key focus through both acquisitions and organic growth, which has accelerated from 2019 and onwards. Now, I joined Adaptio in the beginning of 2019 to drive the IT workstream during this carve-out and IPO phase. And since then, my focus has been to ramp up our digital and data capabilities throughout the company. From 2021, we are no longer a listed company, but instead owned by Goldman Sachs. And with this change in ownership, the focus on data and digitalization has increased even more. So now we are here in 2024, and the growth journey continues. Now, given our history, we started our data platform and BI journey from scratch, without any tools being part of the carve-out from Cramo. At this point in time, you could say that we had a very solid market position in all our markets, but the newly established standalone Adaptio did not have well-established group functions. So IT, finance, HR, and many more had to be built up. For IT and for our data needs as an organization, this gave us a great opportunity to build without taking too much legacy into the equation. However, the needs and time to market were pressing. So we started with an absolute basics of building up an ETL and data warehouse solution to gain visibility of our business and support our reporting needs. Quickly after, we moved into the second phase in which we partnered with Solita to support the whole data platform. Now, also included Tableau for visualization to drive a more proper and traditional BI solution to support our management and, of course, our business operations. Now, the last phase was initiated last year, where we developed further when we implemented an integration platform as a core fundament in our data architecture. And that's what we're going to focus on here next. Now, looking at our IT roadmap and our digitalization ambitions, we lacked a good integration practice. Both tech stack and our capabilities from an organizational standpoint were not really sufficient to ensure we could deliver on our ambitious digitalization roadmap. So with a focus area from our owners and group management team, we really want to set out and digitalize our operations. So the challenge was twofold. First, we came with a number of standalone applications with manual or no integrations, and very, very few direct app-to-app integrations. These had been built up by each application domain with very little governance capabilities. And this resulted in a somewhat messy data architecture for us, and we saw a clear limitation to scale the business in a controlled manner with this setup when growing both through acquisitions and organically. Secondly, we have a clearly defined digitalization roadmap ahead, utilizing new technologies to improve our business operations throughout. And we wanted to be the industry leader in data and digitalization by taking a fairly analog business and make it much more data-driven. So adding digital capabilities one by one without a clear vision would most likely create legacy from the get-go. And given our history, having to deal with very little legacy, I've been very keen on ensuring that we don't create that legacy from the start. So we saw a need for a proper integration practice as a prerequisite to succeed with our ambitions. So what's the solution then? For us, we had to look at our BI and data capabilities and where we would benefit of going from towards an integration platform. We looked at the current and potential future needs when opting to procure a implementation and implement SnapLogic as our integration platform. From the start, we had a mindset that an integration platform potentially could manage our extract, transform, and load orchestrations. And with the addition of dbt for our data transformations, we found SnapLogic to be a really good fit for our complete needs. So in essence, we saw that by merging both tech and team, we would have a better setup to achieve our digitalization ambitions. Let's jump in a bit on the tech side of things and have a look at that. Now, this is, of course, an oversimplification view of our data and application architecture, so bear that in mind, of course. And starting from the application side of things, we had several applications with manual or direct integrations, though still on a very limited level, but with high demand from the business to streamline and automate the processes through integrations. So from many source tools, we pull data in batches from web services and APIs, and those were being extracted, transformed, loaded into our corporate-wide data lake solution. Now, we use Snowflake as our cloud data warehouse solution for staging incoming data, storing structured data, and publishing it for interaction for analytics, data visualization, and further integrations. So on top of Snowflake for heavy analytical use cases, we push the data to Tableau as our main visualization tool for our operations, for finance, and of course, management reporting. Now, I would argue that this is a fairly traditional data architecture for BI, and when the needs arose to consider better integration capabilities, we saw a possibility here to merge these tech disciplines and create a new data architecture with our integration platform as a key component. So with this move, now changing to integration platform instead of ETL, we could use and govern the same data pipelines for BI reporting needs, as well as for integrations to other tools. So in essence, all source tools where we either see an app-to-app integration need or a need for an analytical purpose, we build APIs towards to ingest to our integration platform. And from there, we can push data back to our applications for that app-to-app integrations and simultaneously transform and load towards our data lake. Basically killing two birds with one stone. Now, let's move on here and look at the organizational piece for a moment. Now, as said earlier, already from the start, we decided to redesign our to-be state data architecture in which our former ETL solution was to be replaced by SnapLogic. In doing so, it also became quite natural for us to look at the BI and integration disciplines and to be governed and executed in one and the same team. So going away from silos and integrations being run independently from system to system, we added a data integration specialist to the centrally governed data team and hit the ground running by adding more and more integrations and building of data pipelines. So by doing so, we also freed up the time from our application owners and development teams, focusing more on delivering new features and support and putting demands towards the BI and data integration office. So now we are 1.5 years into the journey, and we have seen several very clear benefits of changing our data architecture and merging the BI team together with the integration capabilities that we have added. Firstly, we have improved heavily in our data quality and controls, starting with improved governance and control. And this might be a bit self-explanatory maybe, but naturally, when you have both disciplines within the same team, the steering and communication is tighter. We can govern all parts of our data platform and coherently see and do what would otherwise become a cluttered map of standalone integrations with limited governance visibility. So we created really a full end-to-end visibility of our data pipelines, which gave us support in the early stages of designing new solutions with all pieces of the data platform in mind. And ultimately, this has also led to improved data quality for us, in the way that we can control more data flows and knowing the data better. Now, looking at this from an efficiency point of view, we can see much quicker turnarounds on requests. We can add data in our BI environment quicker when pipelines from more tools for our integrations and our integration needs has opened up into our data lake. Of course, we can offer much better integration capability and a service to our business than we have in the past, when integrations were done domain by domain throughout the IT areas. And lastly, we have seen a great cost efficiency by these changes. First, of course, the licensing, as we have been able to replace several tools, and also hours spent on manual integrations with our integration platform. Also, with this merge of the team, the efficiency and the decision path has clearly improved here. So from an architectural standpoint, we have increased efficiency as there are no needs to double work pipelines. So basically, when setting up integrations, we already have experiences working with the same systems. The APIs, business owners, understanding the data content, all becomes much easier and more efficient. And to top that off, we also have seen several classic IT aspects of the integrations, such as user provisioning, authentication, documentation, and monitoring, that becomes much more efficient to manage simultaneously between BI and integrations. So, let's start here at the final notes. I've seen many organizations working in silos between BI analytics and teams and integration teams. The traditional setup is to keep BI teams as one area and integrations in a separate team. And of course, I couldn't speak for all organizations, as it really depends on the operating model, the size, and the width. But for us, this change has been very natural. To merge both tech and team under one umbrella has truly been great for us. So, to sum it all up, data teams focusing on traditional BI and reporting do belong together with integration teams. Now, we are a fairly small company, but ensuring that these two disciplines are governed and owned in the same organization really has made sense for us. This has led us to be quicker, in better control, and with better data quality. So with those words, I would like to say thank you for taking the time to listen on our data platform and integration journey, and I hope you have a great rest of the Solita Summit. Thank you.